Excellent. Yeah. So, yeah, you've been doing this half a year. You got a nice website, and you're doing a radio as well as interviews with different trance producers.
Yes, but it's
Nice.
nice you contact me. I like it.
Well, it's funny you ask because, well, what I'm doing is very similar, but not exactly. Like, I don't have a radio station. I don't do interviews yet.
Yes.
And I do have a brand. And on top of that, we do get involved with trance music. So it's not like we're too different, you know?
Yeah, I like getting promoted by you. I know. I don't know if you can promote it on your platforms.
Absolutely. I mean, you doing this, I would absolutely
We
throw
can
you in
promote.
our email campaign.
Yeah, we can promote
Um,
each other.
yeah, and we do have a bunch of artists. So I'm sure we can find ways to work together like that. This will be wonderful.
Yeah, it would be nice.
And for me, it means a lot for people like you doing this, especially this time around. I mean, I've seen that people who have managed to essentially they're not doing this because this is the only thing they're doing. They're doing this because it's just an extra hobby, or this they love music, or this is not their only work per se.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I like it.
Um,
I don't want this to become commercially or whatever. It's just a hobby.
Yeah, I mean, the idea is to grow, get a nice fan base, and let me tell you, when I started in the investment world, 3, 4 years ago, I've actually learned everything I learned in the investment finance world. I've actually integrated that in the music world, and same goes with the marketing and everything involved with that. So, it's actually pretty cool. If it wasn't for that, I would have never known what to do. So a lot of this is common sense, but then again, it works in my investment business. But now I've integrated that in the music business, and I think it's actually pretty cool as
Yeah.
well. So yeah, actually, yeah, we can start the interview if you want. I don't want to talk too much. I'm sure you have some questions, and I
Oh,
know you did ask me how did I start making music. So this is a very broad question, but then again, I just want to best give you the best answers.
yes, I like it. If you talk about the things.
Uh-huh. Mm, so yeah, let me just. I hope I don't take too long here.
No, I don't
So where
mind.
do we start? I think I would start back in when I was 14. When I must have been on MySpace. This must have been 2004, 2005. I found a European producers, like this one in particular. He was actually from California, but his background is Swedish, and he loved trance music so much. He loved trance music so much. He introduced me to a
Tarot?
style called Hands Up,
Ah,
and Hands
nice.
Up is based in Germany,
Yeah,
in Poland, and uh, God knows. I mean, Central Europe,
yeah.
parts of Eastern Europe as well. The thing what happened with Hands Up is like it was so hot because of Cascada in 2004 with every time we touch, and then in the end 2008, 2009, David Guetta, well, he's not a hands up guy, but he is a house EDM producer, and he got involved with making music for American artists. So he brought European EDM to the US. And with that being said, he started making music for, of course, the Black Eyed Peas and so forth. So for the first time, America got a taste of this European EDM genres, because up until that point, it was just like nobody knew anything about it. It was just mostly R&B here in the U.S. The top 100 Billboard were just very, uh, I don't know, the production quality from a commercial standpoint, from more like if we're gonna relate to trance music, as far as the structures and everything is just very outdated in the U.S. And so David Guetta came along and he revolutionized things. Now,
The French
um,
Revolution 2.0.
yeah, and so he changed everything. And so if it wasn't, and there's others too also, like Avicii came down the road in end of 2010, and things like that. So all these Europeans started coming here. Then Ultra was born, I think, and then you had EDC, yeah, Vegas, and so for
EDC,
the
you
first time
mean?
now you have some commercialization of projects. Here and there, you get to hear some hardstyle. Hardstyle kind of became a name as well. Finally, Hands Up never have nothing happened to Hands Up. So what happened with Hands Up was there was a Hands Up entity. It was actually in Chicago. It's got the most European population in the U.S. And you're looking at people who were DJs in Hands Up. They were bringing artists from Europe. They were booking them. I actually personally brought in an artist from France. We did a gig in 2011. And then I think the following year or the year after, the club closed. And so things got very competitive here. And, survival of the fittest. I mean, you're looking at the ultras and the big raves and the big name DJs and all this and that.
Yeah,
They
the
just took
mainstream
over.
way.
And so, but how everything started for my personal career was I was a fan. And then from a fan to 2008-ish, I tried doing the production route using Fruity Loops. It wasn't working out. I was getting very angry at myself because I, for one, yes, I'm European as well, but I don't have any friends from my country that play this software, DAW, Fruity Loops. And so I had a lot of questions. Nobody was helping me out. And then I found people that were essentially making music, but they can do extra gigs like making remixes. So then I started doing some singles and some album that they can help me out on. Still at that point, this was 2012, 13. I still did not know what I was doing. They helped me out, but then I really gave it another try, like 2016, I think it was. Kind of serious, but not
Wow,
too
it was
serious.
fast.
And then I must have seen some videos on mixing and EQing. It finally made sense. I was I was making music very complicated back in the day. I thought that, man, the more you put into it, no, geez, the more simple the song is, the better.
Yeah.
And I have people here, big debate in hardstyle. I'm not a hardstyle person, just saying. They spend 10 hours, 14 hours on making one kick. And I think that's, I've heard certain really good producers tell me that this could be very ridiculous and stupid and relevant. But this is an entire hardstyle debate. So that will be a separate conversation. But once again, staying simple, know what you're doing, having a good mix, using the right types of synthesizers and instruments makes sense. Because if you go and choose some other sounds and then they're not familiar to the particular genre, then you kind of get ignored. I mean, it sounds different, awkward, but it has to sound good. So with all being said, it took me literally 10 years to how to make music and master it. Through the time, I've started 2 record labels. And so with those, I'm actually now trying to, I've gotten back, and tomorrow I'm releasing a new single with one of our new artists
But
for
can
my
I-
second label that I started last year.
Why did you start 2 separate labels?
The first one I started, I parted ways with the partner. We had different interests. He's a very talented individual, don't get me wrong. Really cool guy, very smart. He's been helping me so much. If it wasn't for him, I don't think I would be ever having a strong drive to really take things serious. He's somebody who did show me the ropes, but he's somebody that we had different goals and interests down the road. Like we started the project together, but we just parted ways because of conflict of interest. It does happen. This does happen, and it's fine. Look, it's totally fine because in the end of the day, everybody's happy, right?
Yeah, that's the most important thing. But did he want to commercialize the label, or?
The label, I started a second label because it was my backup plan. I didn't know what was going to happen to the first label, so I started a second label, and at this point I own both labels 100%. But the second label I started it, I really look when I was looking at myself in my music career, I like, what have I been doing? I've been screwed big time. I'm telling you, like I had probably very rough start. I must have lost a couple of thousands of dollars because I did the wrong decisions. And so I learned from these mistakes and I started everything on my own. I could not rely on people I don't know. and I cannot let people take advantage of you. That's the worst that can happen.
Yeah, of course.
Don't want to point any names here, but I do want to emphasize the importance of relationships. Without any relationships, you're not going anywhere. I mean, quite frankly, if it wasn't for the first guy I met who kind of showed me the ropes, like he showed me what he was doing, it made sense. I had a lot of questions, but these were kind of answered while he was making the music and streaming it to me. And this is before Twitch days. This was, MSN Messenger and things like that, and then it got over to Skype and and then whatever. But in general, um, life comes at you, but you want to make sure that everybody's on the same boat. And the way it works is, if it's too good to be true, you should start asking questions. Because if you get released on the wrong label, meaning a scam artist or maybe someone who's taking advantage of you, they know that you cannot do anything about it because you're an ocean away, and they will never pay you. So make sure that you do the right thing. Make sure that the people you work with are legitimate. And for one, I have good examples and I have bad examples. So I've had one time I've scheduled a meeting in Miami, Florida. So I flew all the way down from Miami, right? And by the way, I live in the Washington, D.C. area. So I flew away from Washington to Miami to meet the #1 dance music record label in Europe. Don't want to point any names, nothing like that. And
Black hole?
the guy overslept and he didn't show up to the meeting. Then he emailed me 3-4 hours later. Oh, I was in Starbucks in a suit. I was the only guy in a suit in Miami, ready to do business. And by the way, this was before I even broke into the business world and investment world, that is, where I help startups raise capital for their businesses through introducing them to investors that I know. So, with everything being said, and it is very important to know who you're talking to, um, and then another time, I'll give you a good example. So this was back in 2013. This was somebody I looked up to, by the way. This is not just any record label. This is somebody who I've grew up to listening to their music,
Paul van Dijk?
blah blah blah, and he was somebody who we used to message each other, and I was like, you know what, I want to make music like them one day. I want to show them and how I can help them break the US dance market, because they cannot. And certain people have broken the US dance market, and certain ones have not. Have not.
Who was it?
So
Who was it, if
yeah.
I can ask?
Who was it, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't want to list any names. I mean, quite frankly, in the end of the day, like I said, relationships are more important than anything. So you want to make sure that you know the people. Look, I'll tell you what. Like, probably the best record label that I've ever seen is Cap Records, and I'll tell you why. They always respond back to me. They in fact listed me as their #1 promoter for Hands Up music in the US back in the day, because I listed them on multiple venues, such as like the ones in Chicago, where they got to literally ship out compilation CDs, merchandise to the entire nightclub, where they were handing them out, promoting the brand, having the DJs play their music, and so forth. And vice versa. Like, I have actually sent him talented artists, trance, house music, Hands Up, and the way he's been around since the 90s. I've asked him questions like, "Oh man, do I need to buy myself a Roland Kenzo, whatever, 3,000, 7,000 in order to make nice techno trance music?" And he's like, "Hell no. What you need is you need a DAW, and you need synthesizers and VSTs, and you don't need all this and that, because these are very expensive material." And so yeah, in a nutshell, it is very important to have a mentor. And I guess if I were ever to have anybody being my mentor, that would be Cap Records, because when there's something wrong, I always ask them a question, and they get back to me and they help me out. They're doing very good. In fact, what happened with Cap Records is they've had a very interesting background. So they started the label in the 90s, and then all of a sudden the .com era happened, and so you have people now torrenting music and everything. Now, certain record labels are fine with that. Believe it or not, they actually believe in the fact that people are torrenting their music. They're
Yeah,
getting more
bookings.
popular, which actually does make a kind of sense if you think about it. Now, on the other hand, you have what's really happening is you got record labels who are actually trying to monetizing on this, so it does not working out. When you have the big players, they got greedy, and so forth, and oh, well, not really greedy. They just are fed up with the fact that people are torrenting. So a lot of this was kind of like turned down here, like the torrenting in the U.S. So when you have iTunes, when you have the Napster, Apple, and so it kind of made us come back, and people started buying music again. But then you got Spotify that came out, and now all of a sudden that's like the streaming, the being playlisted on Spotify. That is the place, that's the go-to. And by the way, you're not gonna be, you know, you're not gonna be a millionaire on Spotify. Just saying, this is not where you're gonna make money. And by the way, I'll tell you what, the money is in the gigs. It's in the event business. It is in selling your merchandise when you go and do events, and it's not really relying on these platforms. I see a lot of these artists, they're like slamming digital marketing online. This is my new single, listen to it on Spotify, I got this many plays on streams. Look, if that's working out for you, cool beats. But all I'm saying is you really want to be playing at venues and things like that.
There are other platforms where you can earn more, right? Of or
Perhaps there, I don't like what happened to SoundCloud, because there's a lot of phishing scams on there. Like you get a lot of weird messages, spam. You get and it's very there's so many advertisements, which then promotes the whole premium thing. I'm not bashing on it. I think it's a smart decision if they wanted to monetize SoundCloud. All I'm saying is like anything that deals with a lot of commercials is just like, man, uh like it just really turns me off because there's so many commercials on SoundCloud. For me, SoundCloud was kind of cool back in the day, but then it kind of uh, you can meet great people on SoundCloud. Don't get me wrong.
yeah, like Ariel State.
Yeah, maybe they'll get back to you.
Yeah, I sent him a message a
Mm-hmm.
little while ago, but yeah, he isn't really active right now, sadly.
I've had let me tell you. So 2 years ago, I went to Miami. Now this time, I've actually wanted to meet a very successful Italian record label, and they met me. Believe it or not, who knows? For all that happened in the past, like I've been screwed on the money side. People have taken advantage of my financials in music. They didn't pay me squat. Two, they didn't show up to my meeting. What do you know? People do show up. So I was sitting at a table next to Sony, next to big
Sony?
labels, and
Yeah.
and this is a very successful Italian label. They've done a lot of work with some of the names that I've known, that I grew up to, and I was very surprised and happy that they actually allowed me to listen to my music and meet me in person. I was like, wow, this can actually happen.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Some things are better regional, I think.
I think one thing that I have to learn is don't be too hard on yourself. Look, just because something happens, and people have said to me, I was in Starbucks in South Beach when the guy did not meet me. This guy that I used to look up to, and so what happened was, I was by the way, I'm in Starbucks not because I drink coffee, but because they got an air conditioning,
Meetings.
and this was the Winter Music Conference week, so people were attending these music events. They're DJing, they're promoting their brands. This was like 2014-ish. Then I met these people from Switzerland and some other Germans, and um, they told me they used to work with him, and they told me that, look, the scenes has changed. Now everything is on YouTube. All they care about is these music videos. So that's all they're pushing. This is their last go-to in the market. They know that they cannot break in the music industry further enough. So they're on YouTube pushing as much content as they can, monetizing on that. And I think it was what, like $1 per, what was it, like $1 per,
Except
how many views?
taxes, of
No,
course.
I think it was like 10 cents per 100 views, something like that. So but then, so in a nutshell, They told me that this was a takeaway. They told me that in Starbucks, um, that by the way, they used to work with him, like I said. And they told me on Starbucks that you're glad this happened. They didn't show up because the music industry is not doing very well. So whatever you've expected, and plus, take it as a good thing. Like it's their loss in the other end.
Yeah, right.
Hmm.
It's really sad because, yeah, what is the
Well,
next go-to?
you have to make your own world. That's the bottom line. So that's what I did. Um, Whatever happens, make sure you have a backup plan because if you don't, and then you're gonna be like, oh, well, what do I do now? So when my first record label didn't work out, we parted ways. So I started a second record label, and the way I did it was through starting a brand. So the brand is Hands Up Now. I'm going to invite you on it. We're only on Instagram, and we're using social media. By the way, we're not even gonna have a website. We're just gonna be on social media. We want to encourage people to essentially, whoever does use those social media accounts, then just, to follow us and stuff like that. But the takeaway is this is not going to be just a place where we would have a lot of artists and a lot of fans. I want
Why
to have
only?
a.
Do you only have Instagram? By the way, for that.
Yeah, I have my own Instagram. I have a personal one. I have a music one. I have a record label one. I got a Hands Up Now brand one as well. And so we're using Instagram because Instagram and a lot of people are on there. A lot of young people as well. And a lot of young people actually go to like these raves. They go to these music festivals and whatnot. And there's
Yeah.
a strong music scene on Instagram too. So we want to make sure that we encourage that that this market does see our value as well, what we can provide, and that is the music, that's the DJing, the playlists, the mixes, the new songs that come out. They can also check them out.
But why didn't
Uh,
you also have a YouTube account? And
we do have a YouTube. Yeah, we started a YouTube. We like YouTube. We like Instagram. I don't understand, and I'm not very positive on Twitter. There's a lot of things about Twitter, so I don't understand that world. I'm sure some people may use it. I did like what was that website?
okay, VK.
One second. It's escaping me right now for some reason. But anyways, it is a website where a lot of nerds go to it, and they talk about movies, they talk about anything, video games, they talk about music as well. So they do have big groups on there with a lot of young artists who don't know how to start their music career. They have a lot of questions, and so what we decided to do is we provided a platform on Discord. And by the way, Discord is the place to be, which is why I'm here and talking to you through Discord.
Yeah.
And we created a Discord server, which has, by the way, we started in January, February. We had like 27 members. Now we have 95.
Oh, how did
And
you
I've only
promote it?
marked, and I've only marketed it in 1 month. I didn't market it like the last 2 3 months. I've been very busy with my other business, so I kind of like let it be. And by let it be, I let it by, hey, whoever brings people on the server, cool beans. If not, it's all good. Whenever I do make more time, I will do some more marketing. But with all the marketing I've done, I've gotten up to 95 people, which is very impressive. And it made the server active. Believe it or not, it used to be a ghost town. People used to criticize me from my competition, and my competition is doing very well. They just got 50,000 subscribers on YouTube, so good on them.
Yeah, but how did you promote
Um,
it? I mean, I'm making a
I'm
Discord server for trans promotion. But yeah, I
Mhm.
don't really know right now how to promote it the best way.
Yeah, the promotion is very simple. So I'm gonna lay it out for you. And this is, by the way, this is what it took me 3 years to learn, and I learned it through doing it in my other businesses. So here's the bottom line: what you need is a market. Okay, so you need a market, and for a market, meaning people. Okay, so how would you create people? Would you produce something and release it without a market? That's what I did. That's what a lot of artists are doing, and they're like, "Oh, nobody's buying, nobody's listening. I quit." Well, why would you want to do that? You don't even have a market. So So what you want to do is you want to create a fan base, which is what we've done. We've created Hands Up Now, which is growing. Most users on Hands Up Now are actually fans, but then on the other hand, you got a lot of actually artists. So we want to bring the two together, and we want to make it personal too, meaning we host every month at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard New York time. We get on Discord and we chat. We say who you are, where you are, what you need help with, and how can you help the group. And in this case, if you're speaking about music, you say what's your artist name, how can they find you online, what kind of music you do, and what kind of projects have you been doing. Like, and this is we go around the table and we all introduce ourselves, and this helps the groups to synchronize and actually get to know each other. Otherwise, it would be just like another Discord server which has hundreds, if not more, members on the. I've seen Discord servers with like 70, 80,000 people. There's too much activity going on.
Yeah, then you can't keep up with
But
chatting.
then, yeah, you can't keep up. When you have all this, then what? Okay, you got a market. Don't get me wrong. That's a market right there. I mean, those guys, they monetize it very well. So if you want to monetize it, you first need a network. So build a network, grow your network, and then when you grow while you're growing your network, start monetizing it. Create a mail list, and by mail list, you want to make it legal. In order for this to be legal, you have to know everybody, and they have to be fine with you doing this. Meaning, like, hey, when you met them, you know them, and they have interest about being in your mailing list. So you create a mailing list, and then you're gonna be using that to your advantage. And the best thing I do is this: do not very encouraging. If you want to keep your people, you don't want any unsubscribes, right? Make sure that you don't spam them. So meaning, don't like whatever you produce in the email that you're about to send to the entire group. It has to be relative at scale in a compliant manner, and you're not really shoving material in their throat with soliciting them like crazy. No, you're actually bringing them something benefit. So what I do is, instead of just sending them material to just, hey, this is my new album, this is my new single, check it, stream it, or download it. No, we did add that, but then we are mainly emphasize on joining our Discord calls. We actually care more about knowing each other than actually um, emphasizing the brand for selling content. We want actually people to get to know each other, because in the end of the day, look at where we are. You cannot go to nightclubs. You cannot go to all these events. I mean, how would you do it? People are stupid enough to do this whole parking lot, wait in your car, and then all of a sudden somebody's performing. I think it's stupid. It's ridiculous. Look, if they like it and they think it's funny, that's cool. I'm not bashing on it. All I'm saying is, if you wanna do something and do it productively, while the world is going and changing, and in a such a way that you cannot be free to do what you want to do anymore, you want to think about your strategy. And the strategy is this: we came at the right time in January. We've already built a brand, and we're growing it. And then we are meeting. People are attending these calls. The last call, I did not even do an email blast because of everything going on in America. There's riots, there's terrorism, there's everything happening. I've decided to actually, and the COVID-19, of course, and I've actually decided to not even email anyone for the June 1st call. So the first of every month, we do a call at 12 p.m. and we actually meet. And the takeaway for these calls is people to collaborate, do music. And what do you know? People are actually doing that. And I love it. So if they want to release it on our record label, they can always do that. But if they're going to be doing that elsewhere, that's fine too. No hard feelings. It's just a brand. You're part of a club. It's all it is.
But how did you promote it, and which sites and?
How do I promote it? So we use MailChimp. MailChimp is the email campaigning list. Just about everybody knows MailChimp. How do you write it? MailChimp.com is where you go to register, set up an account. It's free to the first 2,000 emails or accounts that you bring, and that's actually good enough. I mean, you can do if you're mailing list is bigger than 2,000 people in your mailing list, uh, good job, congratulations.
It
But
is
at this
not.
point, I have what? I'm almost at 100 people, and I'm okay. I'm okay with that. You know, I don't have a problem with it. But we should be growing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just getting started with everything, so I do not yet have a mailing list and all that stuff. I'm just trying
Yes,
to.
you have to get out of your comfort zone. Some people don't like that. Some people are very introvert. They're like, well, I can't talk to people. I'm not an extrovert. Well, let me tell you something. In this world, if you want to survive, you know, you have to meet people and you build relationships, and it's that simple. So, um, and yeah, so you do that. You got yourself a market, and then you use other platforms. I mean, I've paid marketing. That's kind of okay, but I'm not sure how much it's gotten me. I've
I
tried
like
it out.
I like to do it
Uh,
on my way. I mean, I create more platforms. I want to try it on different forums like Reddit. I tried and
Oh yes, Reddit is the website. I was talking about Reddit is the website that I went on there, and there's people on there, and there's groups. So I encourage you to be on Reddit. That's the website that was like because I don't go on it every day. There's people that go on it every day or often. I don't use it because I'm just very busy. So
with
like I
subreddit.
said,
I mean, I am currently promoting also on r/trans. But do you have more related?
yeah. So what I recommend is do when you create your mailing list, when you grow your network, you're gonna then introduce them to your product, okay? And so you do that in such a way where they would most likely attend. And in this case, I have set up these calls. It does provide a platform for people to get to know each other. Now, very big thing takeaway is this: you can spend marketing dollars on advertising, but in my opinion, it's almost like throwing your money in the toilet because if you do that, you're reaching out to a random audience through an AI. So let's say Facebook, I pick my own audience, right? Well, you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, you can try, but you don't know what the outcome is. So you can spend your own hardworking money and risk it. Or what you could do is this is free advice I'm giving you, by the way, on radio. You build your own network, you meet people online, find your own common grounds, help each other out, become friends, become find a way how you can maybe, hey, I'm gonna be maybe producing music for you, or maybe, hey, I'm going to feature you on this product, blah blah blah, whatever. And then when you build that common interest, you then help each other out because they don't know that. I mean, they don't know what they're supposed to do. They think that, oh, I'm gonna create this hit, then I'm gonna go to this big label and they're gonna take me. I mean, let's face it. If you look at the Billboard 100, right? I mean, we're talking commercial speaking. We should be talking trance music.
Yeah.
But in a nutshell, everybody cares about your audience. I've had so many times I go do business somewhere and they're like, well, what's the audience? Okay, he's got 4,000 followers on Facebook or whatever. So, and that was not good enough for a nightclub to book a artist to DJ.
It is
So,
more how
despite
tight
that,
the audience is, right?
it's always how big your audience is. It's very important.
Yeah, but I
Um,
know a
which is
lot.
why a lot of women are very successful with that. And actually, women entrepreneur, women singers, women artists are so good at it that whatever they're doing on these platforms, they're generating so much content for people to follow them and whatever, and they're posting material every through 2-3 hours, and it's like while they're and people are just tuning into it, and they found a way how to do this very successful. In the music world, what we need to do is we need to do just about the same, but in other worlds, we actually need to be actually helping people out. And the only way you can build an audience is through helping each other out.
Yeah, I don't understand how they do it so successfully.
Yeah, the hashtags are very important. Be careful how you do that on Instagram because I gotten into the cobwebs of where, geez, well, I posted my album, right? I did it very creatively. And I ended up hashtagging the same hashtags over and over. That triggered the AI in Instagram that I could be a spam account. So my account was blocked for like a couple of days until I think it was like maybe 2, 3 weeks.
Wow.
And what had to happen is I looked it up online. You actually have to don't log in, don't use your Instagram for a couple of days. Cool off, have a cool off period, and don't repeat the same mistake. Meaning, don't. On top of that, don't use third-party platforms because of COVID-19. Instagram has allowed people to use Instagram from the computer. See, I used to use these two platforms online, these third-party platforms, so I can upload material on Instagram from the computer instead of the phone.
Oh, I'm using that currently.
Well, be careful because that's gonna get flagged. Instagram is gonna find out. Well, maybe
How?
that's a spam account.
Why?
Be
Because
careful.
I'm doing it from the official website.
If you're doing it from the official website, you should be fine. I
Oh,
have not done that yet, but that's cool. That's cool. Look, I've had the bad experience on Instagram where the company that I used to do that for me, they chickened out and they were like, "Well, we." They didn't want to respond why my account is being blocked and things like that because they don't want to take like a liability, of course. So I was like, well, let me do some research, and I found out that if you uninstall these third-party platforms, which are not Instagram official, then you should be fine. And so it really helped out. So all my accounts now are safe and good.
that's at least something.
Oh yeah, I mean, come on, I love Instagram. I love how it works, and you can find new people on there, and yeah, I mean, I did a very nice strategy, but I don't want to give it away of how I can find a lot of people on Instagram through Instagram by the way I reach out to them, as opposed to copy paste and just annoy the hell out of them. No, 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 don't do that. You want to be personal. You want to be engaging. You want to be helping them out. And if you can find their problem and you solve it or you help them out, they will love you for that.
Yeah. It should be a marketing as a job.
Well, I am in marketing. I am doing that already, and that's all I learned from the marketing world is
I
I
meant
integrated into
I meant for
social
bigger
media.
labels such as Sony.
Yeah, they see the thing is like I will have to reconnect with them. I've already started my own brand.
Yeah.
I want to make sure before I do anything with them or big names, I will want to have an audience. Nobody's gonna take you serious if you don't have an audience.
Yeah.
So that's the big takeaway here. Now, maybe they can. Don't get me wrong. There's very talented people who've been, they're very, they just started out and they're talented and they got signed on these nice labels. That's fine. I mean, um, as long as they get some sort of marketing out there and they get some people to actually look at their material, that's great. So yeah, my journey has been very interesting. So I've actually decided to build my own audience. That's what Hands Up Now. So I'm going to invite you on Hands Up Now, and I really hope that you can make our monthly meetings.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if you would like it on your. Yeah, I don't know. I remember again if you have a website for your labels. Maybe we can
Yeah,
put you on our website homepage.
well, that's wonderful. That is very nice of you to do that in return. And we'll be happy to have you on both our mailing list as well as our monthly calls, and where you get to meet new trance producers in this case.
Yeah, I would like that.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And look, by the way, I gotta say this because this was actually a very successful event. So I'm gonna tell you what happened. 2 years ago, the Winter Music Conference, which has been going on for since 1989, I could be wrong, something like that, or 1991. Anyways, this is a place where DJs, artists from all music genres go to Miami during the Winter Music Week in spring break, okay?
Yeah,
They call it winter because I mean I don't know what winter means in Florida. It's always a sunny day, but they go there and they collaborate. They meet each other and they expose their music and they meet famous people, like famous artists. So it turns out that um, I went there 2 years ago. It was very successful. I was very happy of the turnout. It's a 3 day seminar with a bunch of conferences of how to do all these different things in music or where to go, distribution, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And they were saying the same things I was telling you, right? It's about your audience, your network, and your Instagram and everything, and your followers. That's what they care about. And then, in the end of each conference, so in the end of each day, they threw in famous artists to be part of the Q&A. So they brought EDX, and that was really cool. And I got to do a Q&A with EDX and then as part of the audience. And then they brought what else did they bring there? Fed Legrand. Yes, I remember I had a very good encounter with Fed Legrand. I asked them a lot of questions as well, and I asked them, "Hey, Fed, so like, which is your favorite venue to actually DJ?" And he said, "My hometown in Bulgaria, which is so I'm from Sunny Beach, but then again, he said Golden Sands, Bulgaria, and I was blown away because him saying that means a lot because
yeah,
I
he's
mean,
popular.
yeah, I mean, not many people know where Bulgaria is on a map, first of all, but then second of all, it's like they don't even know it's a party place for the beach resorts. It's literally like a Miami slash Vegas, so you can have so much fun there.
Yeah,
Now, him saying that meant so much. The guy who made the song "Put Your Hands Up for Detroit," like, well, really cool, and to have a picture with him and everything, and pick his brains on the music industry. I personally asked them as well, both EDX and Fed Legrand, if they ever heard of the genre Hands Up, because let's face it, it's underground. It's not. I mean, it was commercial at one point, but then it kind of is commercial in certain places like like Germany and maybe some parts of Poland.
yeah.
And then it got kind of commercialized in the UK. But then things started to change a lot, and so I don't know what happened to Hands Up. It's just gotten very independent at this point. So what I've decided to do is because it never really made a big potential in America, I want to bring both trance, hardstyle, Hands Up to be part of a new brand here in the U.S. And so what we're doing is Hands Up now.
I hope you
So
can put our radio station also on somewhere on your
oh
platform.
yes, oh yes. When we go to whenever I do this again, whenever I go to these conferences and these highly recommend Winter Music Conference. Definitely come attend, check it out, come enjoy yourself. I'll be there. And what happened was the company was about to go. The company they got bought by Ultra, and so Ultra now owns the Winter Music Conference. Now, Winter Music Conference is can feature all these amazing Ultra artists that are coming. Like, so I thought that was really cool. The fact that they can actually come to the music conference, despite that they're going to be already playing in Miami for Ultra. So yeah, I mean, having a one-on-one with them is awesome, and like I said, what I'm giving you, what I'm telling you, is how you can do it independently, without kind of relying on the big industry out there. Because if the big industry wants to take you serious, they want to know your audience. So if they
Yeah,
don't know, yeah, I mean that's the biggest takeaway here.
that's really sad because I'm just building up right now.
That no, that's fine. I mean, you just started half a year ago. So did I. And what was I gonna say? Um, yeah, yeah.
I'm more
It's been
like
an
a
interesting journey.
yeah, I'm more like a guy who wants to be everything to be perfect before yeah promoting it.
Well, what can I tell you? If I can comment on that, there's one guy I'm really good friends with, and he is my favorite producer, and he's probably the best. producer in the hands of genre. Now, um, he kind of, I feel like he sort of sees the world like that, where he wants everything to be perfect. Um, I've had really difficult time. I've only had a successful attempt to book him once in the U.S. He should be booked multiple, many times. And the problem always comes back to square root one. So we're looking at what's your audience, and they don't care about what the music sounds like. They don't care about how many people are actually tuned into it.
That's really sad.
And well, if I got the secret sauce of how you can actually generate more fans, more followers, a bigger audience, it's a win-win for everyone. And
Yeah, but
that's what I lacked in for the last 10 years. I didn't understand it. If I knew that 10 years ago, I would have made myself already a mailing list, and I must have had by now 20,000 emails. But it's such is life. And by the way, I have a very good memory. I ended up going back to some of the people back in the day, but believe it or not, a lot of them don't are no longer in the scene. They don't care about music anymore. In fact, their emails don't even work.
oh, that's really sad.
Look, you can take it however you want to take it. At one point, you had a relationship with them, a friendship. At this point, there's not so much you can do. So it's very important to stay on topic. Very important not to spam people. I cannot emphasize further. Like, I want to make sure whatever people see from me is what they want to be. Is for them to. I want them to have a higher chance of coming on my calls every month. That's what I care about. I want them to come into these phone calls on Discord and tune in, and yeah, that's what I care about, honestly, because my mentor, you know what he says? He says communication drives distribution.
Yeah, it's really important. I know.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
What I think is more important is individual contact.
Perhaps it is,
It
but
is not as efficient, but yeah.
mind you that not everybody's you know a wolf in a sheep's clothing. You got to be careful. Some people are bad fish out there, so it is very important to have a relationship with each one. And when you find the bad apples, it's very easy to just kick them out of the group. I mean, if somebody is misbehaving, if somebody is I've had, let me tell you, so one of my other business, I've had somebody who actually started marketing my group without asking me. I'm like, what? You can't do that. I mean, why would you do that? You would just make them hate me now.
Yeah.
So I kicked her out. I kicked her out because she never consulted me on that. She never asked me for permission. So it's very important who you let in your group, because uh, the last thing you want is, oh, this brand is just annoying email brand, and uh,
Yeah, so it's
yeah,
an
you
Facebook
want
thing, with all those
Facebook is
emails.
yeah, Facebook is similar, but once again, there's many people on Facebook. There's many people on
I
Instagram.
meant it with the emails. The
Nobody's talking. There's no yapping. Nobody's chatting. Nobody's talking. Everybody's just private messaging, private this, and nobody's doing anything about it. It's just like everybody's posting all these pictures, all this music. There's no soul. There's nothing going on. It's just it's not organic. It doesn't look lively. It doesn't look
it's
there's
more
nothing.
like
There's no,
the boring
no
people.
well, yeah, and so you want to make sure, yeah, so that's what I've done. I've done that, and I don't need Sony. I don't need these big labels. I mean, maybe I want to do something with them down the road, but I rather have my own audience. And it reminds me, if you were to think about it, if you were to grow this TranceStation, what you can do is think about the metal industry. I've went to only one a heavy metal concert. These people, they love their music, they love their culture, they love their mosh pits, and they have strong merchandise. I buy it for the sake of curiosity and the fact that they're promoting their brand. So I support them, um, and they do it efficiently.
Yeah, really
And
efficient.
and they're good people too. My goodness. Now I can't speak for everyone, but for the most part, I've gotten away with it. It looks like a dungeon of mad people, but in the end of it, these people have good hearts. They don't have anything, bad, and they have a culture, and so that's what keeps them together. The one thing about trance music is like you got these big names. I don't want to say any names, but you got these big names, and they're kind of like, okay, well, this is their music, and you just tune into it, and then what? All right, well, you go with the, well, there's no more, this year, there's no concerts. I bought a concert, this European band, they came here, they're not coming here. I mean, they have to postpone their concert for next year.
Yeah,
So, so what are you gonna do then? Well, how are you gonna branch out? What they're
return the
doing is
money.
they're pushing the buttons of Spotify. They want them to take legal action in their country, so that way the artists can benefit more financially by being on Spotify
Yeah,
because they're not paid enough. Let's face the facts. This is a big dilemma. I think that the world is going to get the world. People say that people say that things are going to get better, or like when the economy gets back up. Whoa, 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 whoa! Hang on a second. Are you guaranteeing that though? Let's face it. In 1 week, we've seen America turn from COVID-19 to essentially a riot, a
yeah.
war, a civil war. So then there's people telling you that things are gonna get better. And I don't. Doesn't look like it. Where's it better? I'm now forced to wear a mask everywhere. So,
Yeah, I think at some
uh,
point it will be getting better, but it's taking time and a
yeah.
lot.
And look, it's very important. And then what's gonna happen is, while you're growing this out, I want to introduce you to Cap Records, and I want you first to have an audience as well. I don't want you to be just a bone. I want you to have a meat on the bone. So I want you to be, yeah, take my advice, go with it, follow it, and you'll be very successful. I will show you my tricks of how you can essentially grow your audience without spending money.
Yeah, looks great.
Oh yeah, it's the best way. It's really the best way. Hmm. Yeah, and I do want to learn more about the TranceStation. I mean, you have a year. This is the second interview, um, and I always ask this when I do these calls. Is there any way I can help you?
Well, with promotion, of course. I
Yeah.
am currently having DLive, VK, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch, and of course my own website. I am
Hmm.
trying to get my own trance promotion Discord server for undiscovered trance music, to
Hmm.
so we can also play it on our radio station. I'm trying to get a forum, but I am searching for software and possibilities and time, of course. But I
Great,
have plans, a lot.
great. If you wanna do that, the single I'm releasing tomorrow. He's a kid from Finland. He's really cool, very motivated, very driven about music. He was thinking about starting a forum as well. If you need any help with that, let me know. You guys can definitely collaborate on that. Um, and um, and yeah, I want to put you in touch with him. So and yeah, of course, we're gonna work on the marketing together. And this is great. It's good that I found you on Discord.
Yeah, from both
Hmm.
sides.
Yeah. So to find me, I'm Solid Shark. My name is Martin, by the way. I rather people call me Shark because whatever, so my artist name is Solid Shark. You can find me on YouTube at youtube.com/solid sharks plural. I
Let
did that
me
because
try
I don't
search
have
it.
the
youtube.com/
solid sharks
solid shark.
with an S in the end.
Ah, it is
And
searching.
then
Use
yeah, and then my Facebook is facebook.com/solid shark, singular.
facebook.com/solid shark.
Yeah, I don't have high hopes for my SoundCloud, so I only list out the ones that I'm most active on. And of course Instagram. Don't get me wrong. My Instagram goes as follows:
Yeah.
at Martin KO Drop. I could be wrong. Hang on a second.
The 11th of May, my best Hands Up remix with 16 downloads at 100 plays. Is that your Facebook?
Yes, yes. I just made the best remix I've ever made. Look, in life, persistence. I've waited 10 years for this moment. I wanted to be this 10 years ago when the genre was popular, but such is life. You know, it's all about the people that you know and help you. I'm only this good because the people that help me. Meaning like certain people told me, oh, you should do this to the kick, to the bass drum. Oh, I didn't know that. It helped so much in the song.
Yeah.
This little tweaking, and I also use Instagram. So for my Instagram for my record label, so what to find me on there? What you want to do is you go on
Is it a
Instagram
German record? Auslander
so
Records?
so it's Auslander Records.
Oh, I thought that you can pronounce it in German.
Yeah, so it is a German name, Auslander, and so that's the Auslander Records. Now, if you don't know how to spell it,
Yeah, I
uh,
copy paste. It is cool.
nice. Yeah, and so for that, I mean, um, it's new. I'm active on there as well, and this is our central hub for the music. Now, Hands Up Now is literally Hands Up Now HUN, and the way it goes is here. I
I'm
did send you the
searching.
links.
Hands up now.
hmm
Got it. Am I logged in? No.
So I'm on Instagram and I'm navigating all these accounts. For my one that I'm very very active on is Martin KO Drop. So I do have a house music alias. It's Martin KO for knockout. And my Solidshark one is for the harder genres such as trance, hands up. I do want to do a plug for my new album that came. Well, two new albums. I released two new albums in 1 month. I spent 2 months working on them. One of them is trance, hands up, happy hardcore. That's called Back on Track. It's on Spotify, and you can also find me on Spotify as well on
You're
Solidshark.
doing a lot of projects.
Yeah, it's a lot of a lot of projects. The two albums, they are the first albums I released in since 2013. Can you believe it? The first album I've released since 2013. So I am serious. I'm back in the game, and I'm not stopping. Our network is growing. You either join us, or you leave us, or you miss the train. So it's up to you.
Yeah, I think I should join, of course.
Yeah, and this
Can you
is great.
send an invite for the Discord?
Sorry?
Can
Oh
you
yes,
send-
for the Discord. Yes, of course. The most important invitation I'm going to send you is the Discord one.
Yeah.
So I'm going to send you the Discord one right now. All right, here you go.
Join.
So once you join, one of the members on there is gonna be like, "Hey, introduce yourself." You know, we do that for every new member that joins on there. We don't want any people who are like, we don't know who they are. We want we want to know who they are.
Yeah, of
And
course.
so, and then that helps with everything that I've said so far.
Yeah, what should I say? I mean, we're talking.
Oh, just say in the introduction, just say, hey, this is Tom. I'm with the TranceStation, and I started half a year ago. I want to do a forum. Happy to collaborate with anybody that's interested on that, as well as check out my trance channel. You can post the link. Yeah, I mean, just anything about you, and of course, I'm gonna invite you to our monthly calls.
Yeah, what time is it?
So it's 12 p.m. New York Eastern Standard.
Okay.
So if you're in Germany, Sweden, it's like 6 hours, like 6 p.m. I mean, that would be, in Europe.
Yeah,
So if you're in,
maybe I'm sometimes a little bit later, but
yeah,
yeah, I don't think that's a problem. Or
nice, very cool, very cool. Well, look, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to do this interview. This is actually my first interview. I don't do interviews. I will do music interviews though.
yeah,
And let's grow this baby and let's make trance music awesome.
yeah. I mean, I'm really inspired by Paul van Dyk, of course. He's a legend. Also Giuseppe
Oh, no.
and all that kind of music. I love it.
Oh yeah, I love
I think
what is
music
it?
should have a soul.
Oh, it should. I mean, and people should be able to have a platform to share it and collaborate and make music and
Yeah, I
uh,
mean, I don't know. I'm not going to name any names because I don't want to, yeah, annoy people. But there are some platforms who are, yeah, just going commercial. So I saw this
oh yeah.
opportunity to start it.
Yeah, I've tried Reverb Nation. I actually got business. My first concert was because of Reverb Nation. Somebody actually found me on there, and they were like, "Oh, you should actually perform. You should do a live concert with us." I'm like, "Okay." Actually, I had so much fun. I posted my entire concert on YouTube actually because it's like the worst camera quality you can think of. But
Well, at least you can listen to it. That's the most
I
important, I think.
had so much fun. I did the entire thing for 1 hour and like 20 minutes nonstop. And this is fast music you're talking. This is not like this is a slow song and I'm gonna take breaks after each song. No, we go one after the other.
Yeah, great mixes, I suppose. I should take
Yeah,
a listen to it.
yeah. I mean, there's people that told me they were entertained by my performance, and I'm like, thank you. Somebody said they've actually never seen anything like it. I'm like, okay.
Wow.
In fact, one guy liked it so much a month ago. By the way, he gives me the best reviews for my music. I sent him my music. He like writes me like a paragraph about it. I'm like, geez. So, and then he said he likes it so much he wants to now ask Comic Con to feature me. So he wants me to go fly down there in the south and go to a Comic Con and perform at one of their events there.
Amazing.
And that'd be pretty cool because he's like, it matches the entire anime culture, and the anime like fast music, fast techno. And I'm like, well, I got it all. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, amazing.
Awesome,
I did a
awesome. Well,
biography about Paul van Dyk. I don't know if you saw it on Reddit or some other
the
platform.
documentary or
No, just a biography, not a very long one, 3 minutes 50.
yes.
But I don't know if you can take a look from it after this call or whatever when you have time.
Oh yeah, I'll look at it. Yeah, this is great, and you did this, so that's awesome.
Yeah, that's something Yes, I did not have great audio things for. Yeah, recording my own voice. So yeah, I used a little
Okay.
bit of Translate with it, but I
Uh-huh.
think it sounds better right now. So
Cool. Yeah, I'll definitely take a look at it. Look, Tom, thank you so much. I got a call coming up right now. You've been very generous of your time and give me the platform and the opportunity. So I will follow up with you, and I hope to be
yeah,
seeing you around Hands Up Now.
well yeah, I like it. Is it correct if I publish it?
Yes, it's fine.
Thank you very much.
Hmm.
See you the next time.
Yeah. Let's stay in touch.
Yeah, good luck with Handsupnow.
You got it, man. You got it. Thank you.
Yeah, have a nice day.